This is ACIM Lesson 162. Welcome back to the Explainer. Today we're focusing on a highly specific, deeply profound passage from A Course in Miracles. Our goal here is to take the rich and honestly sometimes a bit archaic language of this text and break it right down so that anyone can understand the incredibly powerful psychological and spiritual message it's trying to portray.
Okay, let's just dive right into this. The entire text of today's lesson revolves completely around this one incredibly succinct sentence. I am as God created me. This single phrase is literally the absolute foundation of our entire explainer today. You see, the text presents this not just as, some nice little daily affirmation, but as a core truth that once genuinely accepted completely shifts your entire perception of reality. It's all about stripping away absolutely everything you've added to your identity over the years and simply returning to a pure, unaltered state of being.
And that brings us to a rather massive question posed directly by the source material itself. Could one single thought actually save the world? I mean, really think about that. The text boldly claims that this simple, firmly held thought has the exact power to dispel all illusions. It suggests that the chaos we see all around us isn't fixed by complex worldly strategies, but by a radical internal shift. By holding this one thought firmly in your mind, the text argues, we literally change the world we experience.
Section 1. Dispelling the illusions, seeing through the mist. Now, as you might already know, the Course's language can sometimes feel a bit mystical. So we're going to unpack exactly what the text means when it talks about false realities, or the world you made, versus the reality of your true nature. It explicitly states that all things seen within its misty clouds and vaporous illusions vanish as these words are spoken. But let's translate those terms for our modern lives. What are those misty clouds? Well, there are everyday anxieties. There are negative self-talk, our imposter syndrome, and our deeply held yet completely false beliefs about our own inadequacy. The text is telling us that these aren't concrete realities at all. They are just mist. And the moment you remember your true worth, that mist simply evaporates. And this brilliantly illustrates the contrast the text is setting up for us. Over on one side, we have the world of illusions, and this encompasses sin, grief, a heavy sense of loss and misery. It perfectly represents the exhausting burdens of the human condition that we all carry around daily. But on the other side is the truth, characterized by awakening, love, completion, and perfect joy. The core argument here is that the mantra, I am as God created me, acts as a bridge. It immediately pulls you right out of those illusions of grief and plants you firmly in the liberating truth of your own completion.
Section 2. The power within you, reclaiming your worth.
So we're shifting now from the outside world to your inner worth. Because this lesson is fundamentally about recognizing that your inner peace is already fully intact. But to really grasp this, we need to redefine a word the text uses pretty heavily: holiness. For anyone just starting out, holiness in this context shouldn't be seen as some impossible standard of pious behavior where you're never ever allowed to make a mistake. Nope. Instead, the text defines it as perfect joy, absolute safety, and a complete escape from guilt. It is your unbreakable, innate core of peace. When the text says you have a right to perfect holiness, it just means you have an absolute right to feel completely safe and joyous in exactly who you are.
The text gets wonderfully poetic here, referring to these words as the trumpet of awakening that sounds around the world. I love that imagery. Think of this explainer's journey and your own practice of this lesson as a personal awakening. It is about finally shifting from sleeping in a state of fear and anxiety to waking up with a totally healed mind and restored sight. It's a literal call to action to stop living in the dark, frightening dreams we create for ourselves and to finally just open our eyes.
Section 3. Healing the world, the ripple effect.
Now here's the thing. This isn't just an isolated, selfish exercise. The text makes it crystal clear that this deep internal realization naturally and inevitably extends outward. Finding your own peace inherently unites you with the people around you. The text notes, he will save the world because he gives the world what he receives each time he practices the words of truth. This is the ripple effect in action, guys. When you practice this thought, you don't just heal yourself. You become an incredibly supportive presence, what the text calls a redeemer, and a source of light to literally everyone you interact with. By dropping your own grievances and recognizing your own worth, you're actually giving others permission to do the exact same thing.
Section 4. Your daily practice, making it actionable.
It's one thing to understand the philosophy, right? But the text actually designs this as a structured routine. It's meant to be highly actionable. So here is the exact daily timeline required by the text to effectively hold this single thought in your mind. Point 1 is your morning, arising with this truth in your mind at the very moment you wake up. Point 2 covers your day, recalling it frequently throughout your normal, daily activities. And point 3 is the night, bringing this thought right with you as you drift off to sleep. It's all about bookending your day with truth and weaving it right through your waking hours.
And what happens when you actually do this? Well, the source material promises some incredibly comforting and uplifting outcomes to those who sleep and wake with this truth before them. The text lists happy dreams, secure rest, a feeling of certain safety, and get this, even a healed body. Because you are sleeping and waking without the toxic stress of illusions and guilt, your entire system, both mind and body, is finally allowed to just rest and restore.
Now, if this sounds like a lot of mental heavy lifting, the text offers this brilliant reassurance. Today we practice simply. As human beings, we love to overcomplicate things with 10-step plans and complex logic, don't we? But these mighty words need no other thoughts beyond themselves. You literally don't need to overthink it. You don't need to build complex logical arguments in your head. The sheer power of simply stating and returning to this one truth is more than enough to change your mind.
Section 5. As God created you, the ultimate validation. As we move toward the end of today's lesson, we prepare for a massive validation of your worth that is found right at the conclusion of this text. The text speaks directly to you, the reader, with these absolutely beautiful words. We honor you today. Yours is the right to perfect holiness you now accept. Just take a second to let that empowering tone really sink in. The text is acting as a supportive guide here, affirming your absolute, unquestionable value. It's reminding you, for sure, that joy and peace aren't things you have to earn through endless struggle. They're your inherent right.
So we return to our main statement, I am as God created me. The sheer simplicity of this solution really is its greatest strength. Whenever the mist of anxiety, guilt, or fear starts to roll in during your day, this is the exact anchor you return to. It dispels the night, and it reminds you that the light has come today.
Just to make absolutely sure you leave with a clear action plan today, here is the concise summary of your practice, straight from Lesson 162. Step 1. Speak the phrase immediately upon waking. Step 2. Repeat it frequently, simply and without overthinking it, all throughout your day. Step 3. Hold it firmly in your mind while you fall asleep tonight. It takes almost zero extra time, but the text promises it will change everything.
By embracing this, you step right out of the illusions and back into your true power. If you found this breakdown of today's source material helpful, please like and subscribe for more structured explainers. It really helps us keep creating these guides for you. But right before you go, I want you to ask yourself this. If one single thought really does have the power to save your world, what thought are you going to choose to wake up with tomorrow? Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next one.